So I'm really excited to be able to bring you this information because if you remember, each month we were going to get a new Naruto light novel with new content, and this month, February, was the month of Kakashi. Now, the entire novel has been released in Japan, except it's in Japanese, so it's currently being translated, or at least it's available in Japanese. Now, somebody on Reddit has actually translated the prologue, chapter 1, and summarized chapter 2, and that's what I'm going to go over in this video. Do not harass this person to translate this light novel. It's over 200 pages long, and this is not her job. She's a volunteer, so don't fucking pressure her to fucking finish the light novel, okay? To translate it, please. Shout out to Kuriakuma from Facebook for letting me know about this, for sending me the links. All of the links will be down in the description. Now remember, this is actually a light novel, which means you have to read. There are no pictures except for the cover and, you know, some other promotional images. The epilogue for this light novel was very interesting because it's a mission with Naruto and Sai. And by the way, again, reminder, this takes place before chapter 700. So at this point in time, Naruto doesn't have his arm. They're on this mission to catch a guy called Gario in the Land of Waves, because suddenly there's been a bunch of people that have been dying in the Land of Waves. And the way that they frame this is actually pretty cool. The characters mention that even though Madara Uchiha has been taken out and the Infinite Tsukuyomi was a failure, there were still ninjas in the shinobi world that sympathized with Madara's ideology as a way of bringing about equality. There's a character in this that is actually wearing a mask, and Naruto is reminded of Haku because this person is also an ice user. The ice jutsu hits Naruto, it freezes him up, and then poof, turns out it's a shadow clone. However, before it's revealed that it's a shadow clone, Naruto is able to have a conversation with Gario, and this is what he says. He says very, very philosophical and very ideological heavy things. Talking about the Infinite Tsukuyomi, he says, it was Madara Uchiha's failure. However, the intentions themselves of Madara were not mistaken. Getting rid of conflict in the world for the sake of implementing ultimate justice, Madara had no choice to employ Infinite Tsukuyomi. Of course, Madara died, so did the plan to use Infinite Tsukuyomi. However, while that might be true, the ideal itself has not died. The unhappiness of this world is caused entirely by inequality. And so to implement equality, what should be done? That would be controlling individual freedom, the freedom to make money, the freedom to have ownership of many things more than others, or the freedom of another person to be at ease. We fight in order to control such freedom. If our experiment turns out well, and this experiment is like, that's why they're killing people in the Land of Waves. Soon other countries will also reach the point of approval of our means, to reach the point where all of the freedom of this world will be controlled by us. This is surely the true meaning of Uchiha Madara's ideals, and thus it will become a new world order. This is about economics. The problem he's saying isn't really the violence. What's causing the violence is the money. Because if you remember, how do ninjas, make a living? By going out on missions and being successful. Therefore, you pay ninjas to do their job. And guess what? If you don't have enough money to pay ninjas, you're pretty much fucked. And not just that, but he also mentions that his son died because they didn't have proper health care. You want to know why they didn't have access to proper health care? Because during the 4th Shinobi War, the major villages, the Kages, paid off the doctors. They actually hired the doctors, with money to cure the fucking fodder shinobi. So all of the other places that weren't participating in the war got fucked because there were no doctors. So that's why his son died. Naruto says, I'm really sorry, I really am, but I gotta capture you, I gotta send you to jail because you're a criminal. And so with the help of Sai, they end up doing this. And they actually send him, it appears that he's sent to Blood Prison. Now, Blood Prison is actually a prison that doesn't belong to any specific country or village. It's actually overseen by most villages. And so each village sends, a certain amount of guards or funding. Then we cut and we go to a scene where Naruto is talking to Inari. Now Inari, if you don't remember, he's the little kid from the Sabusa arc, and Tazuna is also a part of this story as well. So they're talking about how the Land of Waves pretty much evolved, because after, they finished the Naruto bridge, the commerce started booming. That introduced a lot of greedy people, which was kind of like the problem that Gotti was talking about, you know, people being greedy and just money hungry and stuff. That being said, Inari says that Tazuna is the old man from the Sabusa arc. He's working on a new type of ship, a ship that can fly. And it's kind of like an air balloon, but it can fit more people. And the thing is that that's going to revolutionize commerce even more because it's fast and it can move more people at once. So and this is top secret information. Only people from Konoha know about this. So the mission here is to provide security during the inauguration of this new transportation system, and that's where Kakashi comes in. And, you know, that's just part of the prologue. Chapter 1, it's basically Naruto eating ramen, talking shit about Tsunade, and it's mostly about Kakashi because Kakashi doesn't feel ready to become Hokage. He's really hesitant about it, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, Tazuna actually says, well, it's because the moment you become Hokage, it's kind of like you become married to the village in a sense, right? And then number two, Kakashi is kind of depressed because he lost his Sharingan and he can't use Raikiri anymore. So you need the Sharingan to be able to coordinate Raikiri appropriately, because otherwise you probably don't know where the fuck you'll end up. So he feels like he's not at Kage level. In this scene, Naruto's actually barely getting used to the new arm that Tsunade made for him. Naruto's just talking mad shit about Tsunade, about how, no, she's slacking on the job, you know, she's not doing it right, she, you know, just started drinking and gambling, she's not a good Hokage. Kakashi, we need you to step up. Turns out Tsunade was right behind Naruto, so she punches him in the head. Chapter 2 is about, like, basically the first flight of this ship. So Kakashi's there as well as some Jonin from Konoha, like I said, providing security. And Kakashi sees this figure, hooded in cloak, and he starts fighting him because he's a suspicious figure. And he notices that his taijutsu is actually really refined. Turns out he knocks him out eventually after, you know, they exchange a couple of combos and blows. It's actually Lee. So then Kakashi goes aboard the ship, and he's like, fuck, if that was Lee, Guy is on the ship. Because Guy just wanted to get on the flying ship. Guy is in his wheelchair. I believe it's stated that he can actually stand up and walk. Even though, like, the doctors told him after opening the 8 gates, there's no fucking way in hell you're going to be able to do that. So he can do that. And he actually says, I wrote it down, he can do 1,000 to 2,000 squats on one leg. So you have Kakashi, Guy in a wheelchair. Lee left before the ship took off because he was just there to give Guy a ride. And the passengers as well as some Jonin. And that's when shit starts going down. Kakashi notices some exploding tags, and some very suspicious figures are aboard as well. So that's it for the intro of this light novel. I actually thought it was really well written. I mean, I know the translation is you know, done by a volunteer, but I was like, damn, this is some pretty good fucking writing. I was like, damn. It's so weird, you know, I know the characters so well that even though it's text, I can just imagine them. So it's actually really cool. And it's the first time I've experienced Naruto in this way. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you did. I really appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Comment. Catch you guys later. Bye. Subscribe.